Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Keeneland Racecourse. Here on Wednesday, it's the 12th of April, 2023. Gonna look at the 7th race from Keeneland, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Let's look at the 7th race from Keeneland, which is an allowance race, purse $120,000, races for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards, never won $18,000 twice, and the main claim starter, state bred racer, which never won 3 races here. We have an oversubscribed field of 14 horses entered, but only 12 could go to the Keeneland turf course. The distance of ground here of 1,700 meters, if you want to go by that, with a distance of ground of a mile and 1/16th on the Keeneland turf course. 1,700 meters, a mile 1/16th turf, and the portable rails are far out at 30 feet. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 9 horse here, Blissful. Let's go 9-11-2-8 in the superfecta. 9-11-2-8 Super, top selection 9 horse Blissful. This 4-year filly by Empire Maker. Sherry DeVoe trains one. Luis Saez gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 16th of February at the Fairgrounds, about a mile 16th on the Stall Wilson Turf Course and Lounge Race 51,000, and he won by 1 3/4 lengths that day and basically stalked, a tepid pace that day. And when he got to the front end, he quickened up a little bit that day and he got the job done. A very clear victory. Coming home with an 81 buyer, it was his best of his career. I like to see him from a wide poster sit a little bit closer. I think that should be well with the rails out so he could save some ground, and I think he could have the speed to win here today. 2 back, he ran the Pago Hop at the Fairgrounds, mile 70 off the turf on a sealed but good main track at the Fairgrounds on New Year's Eve. He finished 4th by 7 lengths that day, and he was with them early on, then just kind of hit the wall. Only start on dirt. It just wasn't his day to win there. And he does have turf pedigree, though. And then prior to that, he ran a Keeneland 13th of October, 1 mile in a lounge race, 110,000. He finished 8th by 7 lengths that day. He basically lost all chance at the beginning because he stumbled. He was wide throughout, and he just never really got going. And then at Saratoga, 30th July, mile 16th lounge race, 115,000. Finishing 2nd by 4 1/4 lengths. Another horrible break. Didn't break, was wide, and he just never got into it. That's the thing with him. He doesn't break. As a 2-year-old, or a seasonal reappearance at Canterbury in their Canterbury Oaks race they had on the turf, 1 mile there in June. He finished 4th by 1 3/4 lengths, and from 12-12, he had a horrible race where he ducked down at the start. He was moving a little bit late, but if he would have broke, he would have won by open lengths. In debut at Saratoga as a 2-year-old, and 2 seasons ago, he didn't break. That was a problem. But I think they figured out the braking thing. If he breaks, it gets good position. I think he could win. 9-2, we'll use him on the ticket. The 11 horse Flirting Bridge, had a great season last year for Brendan Walsh. Tyler Gaffalone's getting on this 5-year mare by Camelot. Most recently, the EP Taylor Woodbine over the 1.25 miles. She finished 3rd by a neck, and she had the lead in the stretch, a little bit wide, and she got caught by Rougier, who just had the jump on her. But this horse, she ran decently that day, coming home with a 95 buyer. Prior to that, in late August at Woodbine, about a mile and 1/8 in the Canadian Stakes, she finished 3rd by 3/4 length, and just never got the good turn of foot. She ran okay, but she still needs something. And then the Dr. James Penny at Parks, a mile 16th in mid-July. She finished 2nd by 3 lengths, stupidly wide, but was gaining that day. I didn't think it was a half-bad race. And then won the North America debut at Churchill, mile 16th on the lawn in late May. In a lounge race, went by 5 1/4 lengths, closing up from nowhere. A very good, clear victory. Her races in Ireland and in the UK before that were a little subpar because she was finding soft ground, which she doesn't like. She likes fast ground that she was finding last summer in the States, especially the fast ground that she saw at Parks in July. That was really, even with the feet, I thought she loved that fast ground. Coming here today at even money. It wouldn't surprise me if she wins, but I don't think she's going to go off at even money. I think her odds are going to drift up because this is a very wide open race. The 2-horse Sweet Serenade at 15-1 for Roger Hatfield and Junior Alvarado wouldn't surprise me if this horse gets a good trip. Basically last time out at Goldstream going 7.5 on the turf course, she didn't break because she broke her head up that day. She finished 9th by 5 1/4 lengths, wide throughout. It wasn't her day to win. Prior to that at Goldstream, 1 mile and optional 62, she finished 4th by 4 lengths. A stupidly wide trip which cost her there, and then at Woodbine in late October in a mile 16th lounge race. She finished 6th by 7 1/4 lengths. Again, stupidly wide. Finally getting a good post could sit a little closer. Ran decently last April here. I'll give this horse a shot on the ticket. Hasn't won in quite a few seasons, so she's due for a victory. Last time the horse won was actually December of 2021 at Goldstream on the Tapeta. 1 mile 16th and optional 25, winning by 3/4 length from a tracking position. Even not after not so good break that day, she still won quite nicely. coming here today, 15-1 training well. I'll give her a shot on the ticket in this very wide open Wednesday feature. But to recap my selection for the 7 from Keeneland, let's take as a top selection 9-horse Blissful. Give kudos to the 11-horse Flirting Bridge and the 2-horse Sweet Serenade, 9-11 2-8 Super, 9-11 2 in your multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.